Hey there, my name is Zeke Gentle. I am the founder of Gentle Media, and I'm here with
Zeke
Gentle,
Gentle.
a client,
Ezekiel
my
Gentle
artist
for you.
persona, if you will. So when I'm not making music, I am running the business. I'm creating websites. I'm working with clients. I'm building the team. And one of the things we wanted to do here together was to give you a sense of what it's like to work with Gentle Media from the client perspective. So I've brought in my near and dear friend, my alter ego, Zeke, who releases music online under the name Ezekiel Gentle, and we're going to basically be talking as if he's a new client. So I'm going to set up the conversation, ask some questions, and we're going to go from there. One of the things I'm going to go through is the creative questionnaire, which we go through with every new client. This gives us a chance to give them a priming conversation so they understand not just how we work, but where we're going together and what the goals are. If we don't create a creative strategy early, we're going to be asking the same questions throughout the entire project. What is the brand voice? What are our driving emotions? What are the things that we're tapping into from a brand standpoint? So with Ezekiel Gentle here at my side, I want to delve into his brand. As you know, the music has been put on the back burner so that I can focus on the business. Now it's time to bring the music into the business and to give you a bit of a display and a demo on how we work with clients so that you can see firsthand if we're a good option for you.
Yes.
Okay, let's dig right in. Hey, it's great to be here. I'm Zeke, aka Ezekiel Gentle. So I'm excited to check this out. Shoot. What questions do you have for me? I know we're working through a PowerPoint, a deck, a slideshow, a keynote. All right, let me get a little timer going up here so we don't run over. 5 minutes is perfect, actually. Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Thanks for meeting with me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, as you know, we are Gentle Media. My name is Ezekiel Gentle. I am your alter ego. And we're going to be walking you through our process as if you were a brand new client. We're going to ask you a series of questions, and those questions are going to help us create a creative strategy for you.
Okay.
Whether we work together or not, these questions and answers are going to help you define how to move forward with the brand, okay?
Okay.
Let's get started.
Great.
So tell me a little bit about the Ezekiel Gentle music brand, starting with the situation, the problem, action, and result of how it all got started. Take me all the way back to the beginning. Tell me your process and thought process around making music, writing music, and venturing into it as a business, because I know you studied classical trumpet performance as well as music composition, but then you kind of took a turn into the pop world by putting out solo artist projects. So tell me a little bit about your music trajectory from the context of these four perspectives. What was the situation when you started? What problem did you observe? What actions did you take? And what have been the results so far?
Wow.
All right, that's a big question. So I'll do my best to answer it here. I mean, the biggest thing is I'll take you back to music, why I started writing music. And I can remember hearing music early in my life on the radio. My parents played this Christian gospel music. I was in church, so I heard church music. But one of the things that stuck with me the most was when I was not 14. I must have been 9 or so. Yeah, 9. And I heard 3 Days Grace, I Love You, I Hate You, whatever the song title is, but the chorus is like, let me just paint you a picture. I was listening to our radio, and I was in our home in Morris, and 104.5 The Edge was playing, and this song came on where the chorus was like, I do, hey, do, everything about you, why do. I love you. So I was just like captivated by that lyric because I thought the way it matched with the melody, the way everything went together, it captured a feeling I had, but I didn't know anybody else had. And so to hear it represented just gave me this sense of hope, excitement. It transported me into this other person's life. And I was able to capture that and begin songwriting. And that's what led me into pursuing music in the first place. Trumpet came later, classical music came later, but pop and songwriting was always the focus, to put out great songs that people felt new feelings with, so to speak. You know, there's nothing like that feeling of hearing a song that captures something you felt. So let's go a little bit deeper and talk about what your modus operandi is. What is the purpose of your music? What's the heart and soul behind why you write music? And from a consumer standpoint, this is really what is the problem that you solve? I listen to certain kinds of music. I listen to UK drill because it helps me feel tapped in to an intensity and a vigor to get through a workout or get through some tedious project tasks. So where does your music really come from at a source level? What's the problem that you're seeking to solve? And maybe another way to frame this up is, why would people listen to your music? I mean, the quote from Louis Armstrong always rings true to me, which is there are only two types of music, good music and bad music. And that's almost, music is the one domain where you cannot act like something is good if it's not good. You know why? The masses won't follow. The people won't follow. The people know hits. They'll show you the hits. Same thing with movies. I mean, you really see the box office kind of reflect like who's paying to go see a movie, right? Same thing with music. Now it's a little bit different because streaming is at a different pace than filmmaking. So we put out a song, we can find out instantly how it's hitting, So I would say the modus operandi or whatever, like my plan, my MO, my goal and my status is to always be writing better music with better production that's more captivating, more interesting, and hopefully more poignant to the time that we're in. Because people will always listen to music because we always need an escape. We always need to know other people out there feeling what we're feeling, and that's what music does for us. So it's very important that you can tell a story through that channel. And that's my goal, is to tell those stories. My stories, but the stories of other people. Because that's what relates and that's what gives them that value. So feeling known, feeling seen, feeling like you belong is one of the best gifts you could give someone. And music does that. That problem, if we were to translate it to a certain group of people, who would those people be? So who are you solving this problem for? If you say that the problem that you're solving as far as the music goes is kind of speaking to these unspoken emotions and feelings, who are you ultimately wanting to listen
everybody.
to music? If you had an ideal scenario, you could wave a wand, pick anybody in the world who would listen. Who would that be? And
The people
why?
who need it.
The people who need it, because only the people who really need the music at that time are going to find it. So when you need inspiration, when you need to feel alive and to feel the edge of reality and to put your heart and soul into something where you can feel the feedback. Like, that's a very human experience. And I think it's because we go through these hypnotic rhythms of like expressing our subconscious, the cycle that it's on, it gets to a point where our conscious mind can no longer neglect the fact that we've been here before. And so then at that point, we start to ask the question, why? What's happening? Am I the one creating these scenarios? So music gives us that preview into the eternal, into reality of like our spirit, because we're more than our body, right? We are source energy, in the words of Abraham Hicks, and we were source energy before we came in this body. We are still source energy as we are in this body, but we don't always let all of that come to the surface. Music gives us that chance to kind of live at the surface where all of our source energy is at the top, our highest being is engaged. And so anybody who needs it, anybody who's low, a lot of kids, it's hard to be a kid. It's hard to go through the challenges and development of being a child and a teenager. So they listen to a lot of music, right? So I think it's important we make music for them, but also for anybody who needs it. And so now we have kind of the problem statement. We have kind of the problem you're solving, why people listen. We have the who is listening. And now I need to understand, what's the approach? What is unique about your approach? What makes your approach unique? So this could be from a production standpoint. This could be a creative perspective. This could be a style thing. This is all about, what makes your approach unique? What is it about your process that makes it unique? The reason I'm asking is going to become clear very soon, but I need to understand what's special about what you do. So just, don't worry about kind of boasting or sounding prideful. I need to fully get the picture of what's special about the Ezekiel Gentle brand, what's special about the music you're making, what would keep people's interest, and what's the story. So what's your approach? What makes it unique? I would say the approach and what makes it unique are both the same thing. I mean, I studied classical trumpet performance and I studied music composition. I write songs, and I've been writing songs since I was 14. So I've always wanted to combine great trumpet playing with great songwriting and in a great performance. There's no feeling like the feeling of being in front of an audience and performing something that you created, and they love it, they relate, they connect. It just feels like nothing else, because there's purpose like no other when you provide somebody an experience, because experiences are what transform us. So if you give someone an experience that's positive, that's cathartic, that's interesting, nostalgic, fun, whatever it is your music gives people, that is a gift to them, because you're giving them an experience, an opportunity for them to transform who they are. So I love making music for that reason. My goal is to make music all the time and only make music and perform music. But honestly, my songwriting is on a path of like getting better. When the hits hit, they'll be there, right? I don't need to stress about it, but I have to keep writing. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, is to kind of show that like, hey, I'm still putting music out. I've been doing it, but it hasn't been public, and I'm getting back to it. So yeah, there's some tracks that have been in the can that just need to come out as well. But yeah, that pretty much is my answer. Okay, very helpful. So thank you for letting us know what makes your process unique, what makes your approach unique. Now let's talk about 3 core values.
And I guess I make it all.
For this, pull yourself out of the story of the songwriting and put yourself into the brand of the artist as a business. So for Ezekiel Gentle Music, what are 3 core values? These are for the brand, not for the songs or for the artists, but this is really for the brand of Ezekiel Gentle Music. What are the 3 core values that you want your marketing to represent, that you want to activate people through? 3 core values. They could be transparency, creativity, honesty, empathy, connection, fun, romance, any of these 3 things.
Yeah.
What are the driving forces behind the brand? 3 core values,
I think
please.
the number one would be unrequited love. I'll just say it. We all strived, or we all had to do something for a certain person to love us. It may have been a parent, it may have been a special someone, but anybody who's felt that feeling and didn't feel the reciprocity relates. And when you hear music that relates to that experience, it's really cathartic, because you basically get to revisit it with a positive lens so that you can have closure. Honestly, that's why music is so good, because the feelings you have that are new help you recontextualize the ones that are old as, okay, that happened, it's over, I didn't die, I can let it go, I didn't do anything wrong, or even if I did, I forgive myself. But being able to really let go has to come from, I think, getting this kind of experience of the future. So unrequited love, romance, fun, those are definitely 3 core values, I would say. Core value, unrequited love isn't a core value. That's more of a theme in my music. So yeah, beautiful. Honesty. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so Honesty.
With those 3 values in mind, we're going to create a
romance,
brand script
honesty, fun,
using a
and
Donald
love.
Miller framework called...
Honesty, fun, and love.
You know what it's called? Story brand. It's called Story Brand. So we're going to use those 3 core values along with everything else you said to create a mission statement within the framework of Donald Miller's Story Brand architecture. So what this means is that he wrote these books called The Art of Story Brand Marketing. The concept is this. He took the psychological paradigm of storytelling, which is what we all relate to. We all see ourselves as a hero in our own story. No matter how far along we are down the path of mental health, we're the protagonist, okay, in our own story, even if it's an anti-hero. So when we think about branding and marketing and positioning a business for a customer, we have to make the transition from the business being the hero to the customer being the hero. The customer is on the journey. The customer is on a path to get to success, to overcome a huge obstacle, achieve success, and avoid a perilous failure. Those are both very important. So for you, Ezekiel Gentle, we're going to talk a little bit about what is your guide. So if you're going to have a mission statement for your music, and we're going to use this framework, we may say something to the effect of, and when I say mission statement, what I mean for right now is a one-liner. In the context of Donald Miller's work, a one-liner would be something like a log line from a film, right? So in a film, if you go on IMDb and you read the log line, there's one sentence for each movie that just gives it this absolutely dazzling expression. So two high school sweethearts rekindle their romance 20 years after graduating, even though both have families and one is in the Secret Service. That's not even a great one because I kind of like meander, but here we'll use this example. So let's say for Ezekiel Gentle music, most listeners are searching for a feeling. Most music lovers are always on the hunt for a song that gives them the feeling they're looking for. Most music lovers are always on the hunt for the next best song. Ezekiel Gentle music creates and produces original music for music lovers and storytellers alike. Or Ezekiel Gentle music creates songs so you can relax and feel the feeling you're looking for. Something like this. I mean, we would want to brainstorm it, workshop it, take a little more time than we're taking right now, but if that makes sense, that's kind of what we would want to do.
Yeah. Cool.
So a couple things here. We want to talk about the mission, the vision, the values, and the strategy. And there are a number of different ways that people across different industries define these. So for us, we're going to define these for ourselves. One is mission, why you're going. The mission has to be why you're going. I know we just talked about a mission statement in the context of a one-liner. Now, a one-liner is that log line, that enticement elevator pitch to say, hey, for Gentle Media, for example, it's most businesses struggle to manage their online presence. So Gentle Media creates websites and services so you can do what you do best, run the business, while we monitor, measure, and create results for you through your online presence. So it's simple, clear, tells a bit of a story. It shows how you would achieve success, what you would do to avoid failure. That's the mission, aka the one-liner in our context. The vision, where you're going, that's also kind of wrapped up in the one-liner. So where we're going is our outward strategy and trajectory. So who we're going to be in the world. Well, we want to be an international resource for new businesses and small to medium-sized enterprises who are seeking to manage and optimize their online presence. So it's international, gives you a sense of scale, tells you about the market size because we're talking about what size of businesses. We're not going for enterprise, we're not going for institutional organizations, we're going for small and medium-sized enterprises and new businesses internationally. And then the values are how we'll travel. So we used this earlier. Remember I asked you what were your 3 core values. And the strategy is the path we'll take. So all of this comes together. We create a document. And this document becomes our guiding light. It's basically our guardrails for the brand. So moving on from there, I'd like to just take a moment to select 3 driving emotions for the marketing. Okay, so you've given me a lot of really great information. Now I want us to isolate 3 emotions that you would want in the marketing. Now here's an example. Let's say you have a business that's a haunted house, right? You would probably want to use fear as an emotion in your marketing because Halloween is about feeling scared, it's about getting spooked, it's about going to a place where you're not sure what's going to happen. So using that fear is actually going to be pivotal for people to understand what you're offering. Now, other organizations use fear too. You may have recognized political affiliations, news networks. Fear is a commonly used emotion to drive for results and drive actions. I wouldn't recommend us doing it because of the nature of our work, but you get a sense of kind of how does one of these emotions affect the end user? Well, we all make choices out of emotion. Whether we like it or not, we have to be in a state of emotion in order to make a choice. And there are only about 7 emotions that we make a choice out of. There are only about 7 states, emotional states we make a choice out of, okay? So what 3 motivating emotions does your brand evoke?
I would say number 1 is sadness. Yeah, I would say sadness because a lot of my songs are about experiences that I've had that I'm processing, and I've definitely made some decisions because I was so sad. So as far as that being like a motivating, as far as that being a motivating, as far as that being a motivating emotion, yeah, I would say sad, inspired, and hopeful. There's another one. Yeah, just gratitude. I mean, the feeling of gratitude, the feeling of being within your own sense of self.
Yeah.
And that's those things. Sadness is part of it, but so is inspiration, and so is hope. You know?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, great. Well, those are awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 3 emotions. I'm going to take the 3 core values. I'm also going to take everything you've said as I've been presenting this to you, combine it, compile it, and create for you what's ultimately going to be a creative strategy so that the Ezekiel Gentle brand has legs to stand on. You don't have to go back to reinvent the wheel every day you're going to post to social media, because you have these concrete pillars of values, of concepts, and then those are going to be able to fuel your content production. It's going to feel more systematic. It's going to feel more like it's part of one thing. People are going to begin to get an understanding of what the brand's about, which is ultimately what we want.
Cool.
Okay? This has been absolutely incredible. I want to thank you for your time. And I very much appreciate your work. Everybody, please do go check out Ezekiel Gentle on Spotify. Listen, follow, share the tracks in your Instagram story, and tag him, Ezekiel Gentle, when you do. Yeah. Otherwise, you can follow Gentle Media on Instagram and TikTok at Gentle Media US. Same thing on YouTube. So we are putting more and more content out, and we want to serve you. We want to serve the community. So if you have a website you want to get off the ground, if you have a project you're working on, you need the kind of support that you're looking at here, please do reach out at zk@gentlemedia.us, or you can send us a text or a call at 720-432-7595, and we'll be happy to hear from you and get back to you, okay? Ezekiel, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Audience, you've been great. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Yeah.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye.